All right, I'm back with a 3 and 3. We'll get this thing started. I'm gonna click the timer and we'll begin. These are pretty tumultuous times in which we're living. I'm not sure if they're any more so than those that came before us, but it just feels that we're more aware of what's going on nationally and globally than we've ever been. And that's why my first point of the day is, and all 3 points today are words. The first one is emphasis. Emphasis. A few weeks ago, I was preaching. I was kind of addressing some of the issues of the day, talking a little bit about feelings of racism and sentiment there. And what I find as a communicator is that when we accentuate certain aspects of what we are trying to communicate, it is received better. And that's emphasis. And there's many different ways that we can emphasize a point in communication, right? If you're doing it in writing, you put an exclamation point. And I don't want to get too political, but I have to stop. And I just have to say is that of all the things I want to criticize our president for, the one that I really want to get on this for is his liberal use of the exclamation point. I think he uses it so much, it's difficult to tell his inflection because everything is like at a loud volume, at least when you put an exclamation point at the end of your tweets. So when the president views this, just less exclamation points. But one of the ways that you can also do this when you're a speaker is that you can raise your voice, or you can do what I do and sometimes I clap. I will clap my hands to my words because there's that emphasis. And I remember a few weeks ago when I was preaching, I was making this passionate point and I just clapped and I felt it to the extent that my ring finger hit my pinky. Leads to my second word today, the word numb, because that's actually what happened when my finger struck this. And this was a couple weeks ago, and I will tell you is that even as I put this together now, I can feel the point where I hit it. I hit it so hard that my finger went numb, and I was able to make it through the rest of the message. But in doing so, it just affected my finger for weeks. My finger was so numb that I could feel it. And every time I moved my pinky finger, I thought about the point of emphasis that I made that I was so passionate about. And I think as I just thought about that, I thought about the need for the third word. And that third word for me is positivity. See, in the midst of this time where there's so many messages out there and so many of them are mired in negativity and critique against certain individuals, the one thing that I control is my attitude, how I approach it. It's okay to emphasize things, but we don't want to become numb to the extent that we're not adding a positive, helpful voice to the conversation. You got to ask yourself, in this climate, are you being positive? Do you have the ability to truly be positive with your words? That's all the time I have. I hope that your thoughts on this linger longer than this time. We'll catch you soon.